The next mention in Parashat Shoftim of the land of Israel is chapter 18, verse 9, and verse 9 reads, "When you come to the land that Hashem your God gives you, you shall not learn to act according to the abominations of those nations." So it's saying that when the Jewish people will come into the land of Israel, and the 7 Canaanite peoples who are there, they have traditions and things that they do, and when we come there, we will not learn to act according to what they do. So we would know what they do, but we would not know what they do in order to do, if that's clear. And I'll go on to explain what it says. So verse 10 says, "There shall not be found among you one who causes his son or daughter to pass through the fire, one who practices divinations, an astrologer, one who reads omens, a sorcerer, or an animal charmer, one who inquires of an Yidoni, or one who consults the dead." Of and Yidoni are types of witchcraft, which we know are prohibited. So, of, actually, the witchcraft type is called Pitom, and the practitioner of speaks out of his armpit and raises the dead into his armpit. And Yidoni, the practitioner of Yidoni, he puts a bone of an animal whose name is Yadoah into his mouth, and the bone speaks. So we see that the practices of the Canaanites who were in the land of Canaan, they had to be banished from the land, Eretz Canaan, the land of Canaan, because they did these types of things. So the divinations that they did, I'm giving you now explanations that are given in the Chumash of Sefer Devrim, and it's the Rashi. He's explaining what these things are. So the divinations, it's one who holds his staff, his big wooden stick, and he asks the staff questions. So he says, for example, like, "Shall I go or shall I not go?" And the staff would tell the person what to do. An astrologer, in Hebrew, the word is ma'onen, and the Tana Rabbi Akiva says that a Ma'onen is a person who gives seasons. He says that such and such a season is a propitious time for the beginning of this and this. But the sages, Chazal, they say that these people are illusionists. These people are just given an illusion of something. So the one who reads omens, this is somebody who makes decisions based upon occurrences such as his bread fell from his mouth, or a deer blocked him on the road, or his staff fell from his hand. These things happen, and he takes it as an omen and makes a decision about something based upon these omens. The animal charmer is a person who gathers snakes or scorpions or other beasts together for the purposes of divination. And I've already explained what the of and the Yidoni are, the two types of witchcraft. As I said before, the first of is where the practitioner speaks out of his armpit, raises the dead, and raises the dead in his armpit. And the Yidoni, the practitioner there puts a bone of an animal, of a Yidua animal, into his mouth, and the bone speaks. And there's also the person who consults the dead. So how was this done? Basically, certain things are done, and one of these things is that the practitioner of the one consulting the dead, he will ask questions of a skull. So the Torah goes on to say that in verse 12 of chapter 18, for anyone who does these is an abomination of Hashem, and because of these abominations, Hashem your God banishes these nations from before you. So it says that you shall be wholehearted with Hashem your God. For these nations that you are possessing, they hearken to astrologers and diviners. But as for you, not so has Hashem your God given for you. So Hashem has not given all of these different types of witchcraft and different things that these people did. These ways, some of these ways existed. As I said, there was one that was an illusion. Certain things were lies, but some of these types of witchcraft actually did work. As we know in Egypt, that when Moshe and Aharon went to speak to Paro, he had people there with him who could perform witchcraft and magic and things like this. So these things existed, but even though they existed, we, the Jewish people, are commanded not to partake and do these things, because these things that exist, they are not for us, the Jewish people. We have other ways, and we place our belief in Hashem our God. We have to be wholehearted with God, which means that we trust what He has in store for us, and we do not delve into the future, but rather whatever comes upon us, we accept with wholeheartedness. And then by doing this, we will be with Him, with Hashem, and be of His portion of what He is giving us.